Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Edessa the Dark Crusade. This scene we will set a little like around midnight-ish at the bazaar where Irene and Eklios have decided to meet up for reasons. Um, Reasons being that Irene has, from time to time, uh, agreed to teach Eklios how to behave in social circles and social situations, and basically it's like, okay, so we're gonna have a fields lesson today. We're gonna see how.
Please do not vicissitude anybody. Please do not vicissitude anybody. Oh man.
So yeah, it's they've been talking for a while as they have walked around the bazaar, and Irene is basically pointing out people, pointing out their stance, and like, okay, do you see that salesman over there? The way he's rubbing his hands, he's trying to sell something, and he really wants to sell something. It's probably not worth as much as he claims that it is, which you can see by the fact that he's kind of bending forward, and is not
So,
directly looking at the customer.
so what you're saying is that I should not threaten to impale him on a wall for putting outrageous prices.
What? No, of course not. Irene looks shocked.
I mean, you can roll perception empathy if you want. You see if he's serious or not.
Ah, ready the dice rolling.
Of course, always dice rolling.
She
You're
has
not
no clue.
sure. As you know, he he lets a long pause. That was a joke.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Although I have seen buyers do it,
You
but it
have?
is but it is hmm, in the old lands.
Hmm.
So what else is there?
Um, okay, if you look around, as she's kind of spotting the crowd, um, you see those two ladies over there.
Yes.
Can you tell me if they are just simply walking around or if they have a purpose by the way that they are walking, talking, and looking?
I'm gonna roll perception empathy just for the shits and giggles. And then if he barge, he'll be like, "No, we have no purpose." Something. uh, okay. Yep. Just looks at them. Just looks at them because he's not like I'm not gonna activate aspects for that shit. He's just they're beneath him. Like they're beneath him. And he just he just looks and he sees them talking, looking at people, and then he just looks at her. It seems they are trying to find suitors. But actually, they're probably just talking about the
Yeah.
next arrival of fish or whatever.
Irene will hide a smile and shakes her head. No, no. Look, just look at the difference in clothing between those two ladies and the salesmen and these helpers that they're talking to. That's different standards. They don't. They wouldn't find a suitor talking to someone who sells fish.
Hmm, I will have your word for it. And so,
Okay.
yeah, he's squinting. He's squinting now as he looks at them, perhaps almost thinking, "Come on, stop showing me that I'm wrong. Just find somebody." Like, jeez.
And yeah, she'll look around again and finally points out a girl with black hair, simple clothing, like.
Yep. Mina
And
is probably about the bazaar with Alonzo. Well, in theory, with Alonzo, though right now he may not be visible. And Alonzo, being the fabulous creature that he is down one of the. He has dashed between some of the stalls, and she is giving like soft, excited little noises as he does whatever he's doing. But she is obviously talking to something in an animated fashion, very animated, and has probably some cheap, very cheap kind of stall food in her hand. Something she's obviously just kind of picked up as she walks through. And as they watch, she will actually crouch down, and Alonzo will come scampering back over, lead dragged behind him with a very dead rat in his maw. And he will like do a series of dances, be told to drop it several times, fail miserably for a while until she holds up a reward, and then finally drop it because reward is better than rat.
It seems the dog has her by the tail of his nose.
she looks a little confused at that statement, as she doesn't really understand it. The tail of his nose?
No, sorry. I meant that he's he is manipulating her. Probably he understands that if he brings things back, she gives treats. So obviously, bringing more things means more treats.
Okay, but I was not necessarily pointing at the dog, because I think you would understand animals maybe a bit better than humans. So focus on her. What do you see? What are you doing?
Oh, see, that's completely false.
I mean,
That
she
looks
is just
better.
fucking assuming, okay?
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
think
I
that she
know.
knows about Zuichi.
But again, like, yeah, I mean, you've seen he has a leather boot, so technically it comes from an animal. So yes, he understands animals. So yeah, but yes, he will look.
And yeah, the longer they watch, she obviously has fairly good control of the animal. There will be a stern series of quick commands, actually, very possibly in Spanish,
Ooh.
and he will respond by finally, having the rat dropped, sitting pertly, his big old ears. Look at those ears. Oh my god! Like perked forward, very 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 much this expression, very attentive. And he'll sit himself down, and only once she has picked up the lead will she finally give him the treat. And we'll probably cast the rat off into the gutter.
Irene actually knows Spanish, so she blinks surprised, because that appearance with and knowing Spanish kind of doesn't make sense to her.
Spanish people aren't poor. Spanish people are homeless
No,
hombres.
but you don't really see poor people knowing different languages, nor travel a lot.
And yeah, she's deaf dressed down to very much like kind of fade into the background of the bazaar.
Irene is now slightly curious as she uh walks over a little bit, not like actually walking up to the girl, but just kind of like she kind of wants to see if this girl only talks Spanish or if she actually knows the other languages as well, because it's something that's curious to her.
If she watches for a moment, like she goes on to talk to the dog, we'll probably scoop him up at some point and pet him just very dotingly, and talks to him normally for the most part. It's only when she's giving commands. And she, meanwhile, as she's being watched over the next little bit, will continue to walk along. We'll finally put him down and have him walk beside her. Be very careful about keeping him very close to her heel and correcting him when he wanders. And we'll actually be very quick-eyed about watching the gutters, watching between the stalls, and may very well spot the next rat before the dog does, albeit she will pause, give him a chance to catch on to it being there, and then pop an almost too wide smile when he finally catches on and excitedly starts to do, like, you know, puppy dances until he finally sits himself and points his nose very, very locked on in the direction of the rat. And then he will sit there until she drops the lead, and he'll go fucking pell-mell after it. With her speaking commands, again in Spanish, very obviously to reinforce that they are tied to the action he's doing, rather than giving them and having him respond to them.
Irene will look to Aklios and basically whispering right now, as they are probably close enough to, you know, if she would talk loudly about someone, they might notice. So she's kind of whispering like, hey, that dog and her, they speak Spanish. That's odd. I know something. How about you go and, you know, engage in conversation and try and find out where she's from. And be mindful that you have to adapt to basically her level and take... Oh, I feel so bad for saying that.
Do it.
I am sorry.
That's the part she's dressed for. It's totes approach. Yeah. Do it.
He looks as he thinks, you know, get to her level, and he's like, and he thinks in his mind, you know, but I don't know how peasant works. That's the first thing that goes through his mind. Like, yeah, you know, I never interact with peasants. And he
just mimic.
And, you know, he looks at her. If she only speaks Spanish, then the conversation will perhaps be very one-sided.
I mean, if you looked at her, you saw that she also speaks probably Arabic or French, whatever they're speaking in this area.
I think you get both for free. So probably both.
So.
And I mean, he has doubt. Like, he has doubt. You know, like it's really hard to know what peasants can and can do.
God,
yes.
I'm a fucking TDC. What the fuck do you expect from me?
And, you kind of bump him like into the direction of the girl. She'll walk up just a little, but stay. Keep a distance.
I mean, yeah, he's got an approach.
And naturally,
as he looks at her from up, because he's still quite tall.
Well, we'll say for lulz that as he's walking up, Alonso has come back, and she's trying again to get him to drop the rat and sit. And Alonso is not so okay with this new person that is rapidly coming into the personal space zone, and instead, with the rat, perks his little ears, his giant ears, and then after some consideration, decides that now is the time to book it, forcing her to kind of lunge grab the lead that's dragging behind him, and she will start chastising him in French for shame on you, and then kind of glance up to see what he's running from, and when she realizes there's a big hairy guy there, she promptly stands herself properly up again, still clinging to the lead, while Alonzo is at the other end, just kind of tugging, like, nah.
So you do speak other languages.
She adopts a tilt of head. I'm assuming his overall dress is much nicer.
I mean, just okay. You know what? It's that's like that's more or less he's overlay currently.
Okay.
As yeah, he didn't took the fancy Ecleos clothes. Just
So
brought
all leather, just all
Yeah.
leather.
I mean, not necessarily all leather, but yeah, he's wearing a leather vest.
And she pops a glance up and adopts a very faint tilt of head, narrows her eyes briefly, and then this just broad grin grows across her face again. I do.
And he nods as it's like, yes, file information into peasant girl with dog file. No.
Don't you?
I do. Except I wasn't sure considering you were training your. And, he makes a pause as he looks at the qualification he should give to the dog.
During the pause, she'll sub in for him, Alonzo.
And yeah, he decides to be, formal and not say mutt. Say just "How." But yeah, there's no like it's not cynical or anything. It's like, yes, it is a statement. So
I was.
so I take it. I take it that if you train your dog Alonso in Spanish, then it must mean that you were not from those lands originally.
You're very right.
Hmm. Are you from? And let me actually regrab my 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 history book.
Please do, because I don't even know the terms. Help me out here.
Are you? And yeah, he asked her, "Are you from Castile of Aragon, or are you perhaps from the Kingdom of Grenade?" Uh, now I don't know actually if it's the English translation, but yeah, basically he's asking north, northeast, or south under Saracen domination.
She will actually very playfully, with whatever terms are appropriate to the time period, because I don't fucking know. She will scoop Alonso up so he doesn't keep pulling and potentially get out of the loop. But we'll playfully hint that she is instead most recently from France. And then we'll, with the dog tucked under her arm and looking very unhappy about being tucked under her arm, will proceed to kind of playfully imitate a very French court curtsy and introduce herself. Yasmina Varela.
As again, new information dropped into peasant girl with dog, now with peasant girl with dog. Yeah, Yasmina Varela with Alonso. And he nods, even if he clearly see that it's probably not the rightful courtesy, but he's like Eklios Obertus. A pause. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. As he will give, just 2 centimeter move from the head, which you should feel greatly honored.
The tiniest little Bob.
Yes, but the tiniest of them all.
Yeah. And yeah, it's very clear that the curtsy, while there's obviously the hints to being a very French variant, is obviously still very much so playful, more so than it is formal. And again, the grin grows. Oh no, pleasure's all mine. Do you usually approach waifish girls playing with their dogs?
No.
Oh, she's just having a blast. She looks delighted.
I read this as well.
And she takes like a pace or two, not like actually circling him, but kind of going around and getting the side glance, not getting close enough to be within arm's reach or anything, but very thoughtfully looking him up and down, like, huh.
I mean, it's probably a safe answer because he's armed. Like he has a mace on the side of his belt.
Yeah, yeah, but those usually take at least a second to grab for. She's just not getting into grabby range. She doesn't need to get like punched or something if he gets twitchy because she's moving around like that. But she does like circle a couple steps around to his side, glancing him up and down, still smiling broadly, like she's just having the best time. Oh, my special. Still just
He looks and he looks at her and he's gonna say yes. And I'm going to roll manipulation subterfuge. Yes, you're definitely the most snowflake person he has ever seen today. Let me see how much. I mean, it's kind of believable. Aha! Aha! Defender wins!
Sadly, it's a tone thing. So no love for me.
I mean, I will just say this. This is really hilarious because a lot of time I only get one fucking success, and apparently even ancillars cannot pass my poker face with one success. Like this is a recurrent theme.
I'm not nearly that cool. Yes. And whether or not it's meant the way he meant to convey it, it's believable.
Yeah, but it's so like dispassionate.
That the hand comes up to her chest like, oh, like again, this is flagrantly very teasing.
And he frowns for a second as he looks like he looks into the distance looks in the distance, frowning. Do you really need me now? And yeah, he's definitely not talking to Mina. Definitely not. Like he's just looking away in the distance, completely
It's
obvious
like
to
the
anybody
picture.
else now. And
Looks right over her head and says it.
and he sigh. I must leave. Thank you for this conversation. And he will just turn. He will just turn his back, and be like, yeah, I turn, my hair fly off. In between,
So fabulous.
yes, I need to go away fabulously. As he walks to Irene, and he will whisper to her, I need to go. My sire called me.
I
However,
understand.
if she says she's from France, I have my doubts. Probably, definitely from Aragon.
Well, at least you managed to have a conversation with her where you took the lead. It's well done. I
Not.
hope your I hope your sire won't need you for anything dangerous. Be careful. And she is actually starting to mutter at this point as well. There is something coming, something dangerous. I don't know what yet, but just please be careful.
I will be. And he will take her hand and kiss the back of it.
She will curtsy.
I shall return soon. We should probably meet at Gofrance.
Yes,
There are many things that we need to talk.
I think there are indeed.
And with that, he's gone with the wind. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Well,
A
not so
flash of his
dramatically.
golden hair.
Not so dramatically. Next Goldenic level, yes, but you know, he just
God damn it.
And yeah, Amina
Yeah.
will sneak glances over because she's inquisitive of him talking to the open air over her head. And we'll certainly catch the exchange. Albeit she's set Alonso back down for the moment since he's chilled out without another Canite nearby. And we'll kind of frown at the rat he's already brought her because, well, that teaching moment is gone. Damn it.
Aw.
And proceed to just kind of carelessly cast that one into the gutter as well.
Yeah, Irene will approach because that situation with Eklios was kind of awkward at best. So
Yes.
she'll approach, give like the smallest of courtesies. She says, I apologize. I had asked Sir Eklios to inquisit on my behalf.
And again, as Alonso, it decides, nope, scoops him up. Back under the arm he goes, and again she'll twirl around again very energetically, and we'll dip again into the very playful curtsy. It's almost a mockery of a curtsy, not quite.
I mean, she's a peasant. There's no way that that Irene would expect her to do like to deliver like a perfect courtesy.
Pardon is my headset bleeds out.
Yeah, don't worry. Mine is bleeping. So it might be me.
I don't know. Sometimes mine does a thing. So if you said anything after my curtsy bit, I totally missed it.
Um, God, I was fidgeting with my headset as well. So
Okay, that works out. Then yeah, she whips around and she does the teasing curtsy again. The smile grows back across her face. Fine lady like you asking about me.
Irene will, in Spanish, say, "I was wondering where you picked up such a fine language."
And she keys onto it for half a moment. Though she does respond in French. One doesn't forget certain things.
So I was interested. I hope my companion didn't give you any cause to be offended.
Offended.
Offended. Thank you. God damn it.
Mhm.
Fucking English.
I know, right?
Ah.
And no, she'll give an energetic little shake of head. Like, not like hyperactive, but just a little shake. No, not at all. He was very interesting.
He is indeed. And Irene will go as far as to basically give like a few copper coins. Which might be completely inappropriate, but hey, whatever.
It may be, but you know what? She's playing the part, so she'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
And hey, little extra change means easier to get him treats.
Probably, yeah. Irene's hands, if you would touch them, are because she does not have blush of health or all that kind of interesting things, so they're very cold.
Ha! And I will take that as an excuse. Between the dog and the cold hands, I will just need to go and look back at what my roll is. It is perception, empathy, diff 8. Doom doom doom. And so yeah, she will be watching her, as she comes up, as she hands over the coins. And as the fingers just happen to brush and she feels just how cold her hands are. We'll take a moment looking to her and as she tucks them away under her tunic, just being like, "Oh, thank you," and keeping her eyes closely on her. And 4 successes. Woohoo! I can see all sorts of cool stuff. But the important thing being that I can see that it's pale.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let me see too.
And you are welcome to. I don't know what the prompt is for awareness, whether it has to be visible or not.
You're using Auspex, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. You use the aura perception thing, right?
Yes.
All in all, let me see, 4 successes. Jesus Christ, subtle shifts. She is mainly light blue. There is a little bit of violet from time to time, as she's kind of amused with the entire situation. And there is a slight hint of orange, kind of at the sides of her aura, kind of almost as if it's not fully present, but it's always there, kind of looming in the background.
It's a lingering sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's clinging to the edges.
Yeah.
Definitely not in the forefront.
No.
Still, the flashes of the little flashes of violet and everything, and especially as she gets a proper look after the exchange. Oh boy, does that smile! Oh, it's so broad, it's fit to split her face. And she will again, this time with a bow instead of a curtsy, will dip herself deeply down, so far that her hair probably damn near brushes the ground, and pops herself back up. answering or commenting. I haven't been here for many nights, but the more and more I meet of us, more fun I have.
Irene looks a bit confused.
If nothing else, there's the specification
Thoughtful.
of nights as
Nights.
opposed to days.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like she picked up on that, but she's not too sure. And she says, yes, the nights can be very interesting indeed in this place.
Oh, they can. I've seen all sorts of strange things.
Really?
I have.
Have you seen anything during the daylight?
And she pauses and thoughtfully puts a finger to her chin. Again, the expression is still like there's no losing that playful edge. I find myself busy during the day. I prefer to walk at night.
That was about the answer that Irene needed. And she's like, wow, how the fuck do I manage to get, like, out of all the people on this fucking bazaar, I pick out a canine? Like, what are the odds?
She did.
And she'll look around, seeing if there is like an alley or something somewhere where they can talk and have a little bit more quiet. And finally finds a more quiet spot where there aren't a lot of people. And she'll gesture to that place. I am interested about your nights and what you have seen. Would you mind discussing it in a more private setting?
Oh, don't mind if I do. And she will just whirl around a sachet into this alley.
Irene will be a little bit more on guard because alleys and yeah. But she'll walk along, obviously more trying to be more calm and poised.
There's no poise here.
Yeah, and like when they're in the alleyway, Irene will definitely take a bit of time to find the less dirty place to stand. And curtsy again. I am afraid I did not catch your name, my lady.
And seeing as they're off somewhere where even I imagine Yasmina does do her occasional skulk through the alleys in here, so being fairly aware that this is not a place frequented by the by bums and whatnot, we'll in fact look if she goes so far as to offer it to take her hand and like touch her forehead to it very politely. I am Yasmina Varela and fletching to Malkavian.
Time for some appearance subterfuge to keep a straight face.
Oh yes.
The M word. That is still. Oh boy, I'm never gonna win that.
Its expression, would you give me it being in a of sight or vision based?
Sure, yeah. I mean, she's trying to keep a straight face, so it's not something that you listen to.
1, 2, 3. Oh, defender.
Yes!
Why? Why? Oh snap.
So, yeah, Irene will curtsy as well, or curtsy again, and it's like, I am Irene Argueres. I am a fledgling of Clan La Sombra.
Actually, really quick, let me see how long this... Okay, so this is a fleeting thing. I wasn't sure how long the effect lasted. Really?
Yes.
And I will assume for lols that she once they got a certain bit down the alleys, especially since she ducked down first, she probably went to a particular point that she frequents to pause. So nice place, lots of crates and whatnot. I don't know. Not so much actual garbage, and certainly no rats in sight since she frequents it with Alonzo. I didn't think there was anyone else here as young as me.
I've been in the city for a few months now.
And how do you find it?
Well, the nights have not stopped being interesting.
Oh, good.
Good?
Well, I thought maybe I was just lucky.
I don't know what kind of interesting things you have encountered so far. I wouldn't always call oneself lucky with interesting nights.
Well, the alternative is boring.
Or quiet.
Boring.
I mean, nods, and it's like, I will agree to disagree with this.
Yeah. Oh, she's still grinning fit to split her face. She obviously doesn't feel like that strongly. It's just like, but boring. Ugh. Meanwhile, Alonso is doing his little doggy flails. Like, but really though, you can put me down. I'll just run that way forever.
Crawl away from the scary lady.
Yes.
Oh.
He does not yip yap because he has been trained extensively not to yip yap. But he is probably making little damn it, little noises, little very quiet whines or hums or whatever, but never actually getting loud. So not calling attention to them. And what kind of interesting things have you seen?
Quite a few. Are there any particular interesting things that you're looking at?
Maybe. Have you noticed how cold it's getting lately?
It is quite cold for this time of year, yes.
And you haven't seen anything on the breeze?
On the breeze? Like what?
Sorry. All sorts of strange people with all sorts of very strange clothes.
Irene frowns at that. And they are the breeze, or?
Oh, the breeze always comes with them. It's always so strikingly cold when they're around. It's how you know they're interesting.
Yep. Irene is like, her entire head screams like, oh right, Malkavian, of course. Even though she doesn't really know much about Malkavians, but in her mind they are like well,
Cray cray.
yeah. So she nods. She says, "Well, I've only once met someone who I could say was more like a breeze, but that was at another place and not in the city."
Oh. Well, that's a shame. How many people have you met that other people can't see? Or that the kind can't see, anyways.
Welcome to another manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah.
Oh God!
So help me, I will. Yes, I just have to succeed.
That's a freaking botch.
So good. I didn't botch. Yes, give me it.
No!
Give it to me.
Oh no! So Irene will try to keep cool and level-headed, but oh my God, her eyes widen and she actually bites her lower lip for a moment. She says, "I have not seen anyone or anything that no one has been able to see."
Oh God, I need to roll this again. Hold on. I need to up my diff here to reflect it because if she gets it's only one.
Her aura is still pale.
Damn it! Oh, she wanted to see that orange flood in.
Oh yeah.
Still, oh boy,
you
her
don't
eyes
really need
glimmer. She
Yeah, you don't really need to see the aura to see the orange kind of pouring in there.
practically reflects in her eyes.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to enter anytime you want there, brother dear.
I would probably just appear, like literally just appear from the corner, like he came out of literally shadow. He's about, yeah, for Irene's sake, he's about appearance 4, dressed in kind of nice, like loosely fitting clothes, curly hair, and he'll just see Mina. So a smile, leaning against the wall, watching.
Meanwhile, Mina, like, it's obvious that she caught it. She is not hiding anything. Her eyes glimmer. Oh, she is so alive right now. Are you sure?
Yes.
And she does not
Irene will
respond to Garnet
actually-
appearing at all.
Irene will
Yeah,
actually take a step back, and as
I mean,
she
he's like
says-
right behind her, you know, like Mina's not even aware that he's there, I don't think.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you want, I could roll something. Even if she did know, though.
Oh
No
God.
reaction.
Well, I mean, whatever you want.
I mean, I assume it's right behind Mina. So you see him just flash in out of
Oh, yeah.
nowhere.
Like she already
Yeah,
took a step backwards at the response that she gave when Jasmina kind of started smiling, and then when she spots Garnet, who she was sure she hadn't seen before, she again takes another step backwards.
Like he pops right out of obfuscate and just smiles.
So yes, he kind of stares past Yasmina at this point.
At which point, Mina will finally take a fleeting little glance back and adopt a mild pout.
Am I interrupting? He'll smile. It'll be that wicked devil smile, there'll be like a glint in his eye.
Oh, look at her. She's all unnerved now.
Raise an eyebrow. Did I startle you? Smiling warmly at Irene.
And Irene, needing those few seconds to kind of repack herself, will smile back. Not at all, sir. and she'll curtsy. She's just gonna assume by the reaction that Yasmina gave, plus the fact that he just popped up out of nowhere, that he is a K-Knight as well. But she's not gonna say anything until like she has that confirmation for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
you know, we'll gesture up just to make things more inviting again. We'll gesture up and be like, "This is my dear brother."
And who is this? He'll stare at Mina, like just like who
This is Irene La Sombra, and as young as me.
Just takes a casual look around. He'll smile. Appears I got 2 children in an alleyway.
Irene will curtsy again. My lord, I apologize for not introducing myself. My name is Irene Argueris. I am a fledgling of Clan La Sombra.
He'll smile. No offense is given. Mina does like to do things unorthodoxly. Stares at his sister. Not hard, not with an ice cold there, with his more smile.
Yeah, there's
Polite.
another pout.
But he'll smile. It's always good to see the shadows skulking about, even ones as young as you.
My lord, I can assure you that the shadows do not skulk.
I imagine they don't. He'll shrug lazily. If you don't mind me asking, what were you two talking about? You seemed positively giddy. Well, one was nervous, one was giddy.
And just for fun, Mina we'll glance over to Irene in that, "Oh no, you answer" kind of way.
Irene is definitely waiting for Mina to answer because at least she's familiar with this person. So she kind of had her eyes averted to the ground, and as there is this kind of silence, and she looks up and she meets Mina's gaze, and she's like, "Fuck," except well, we were discussing the past few nights and how entertaining they were to your sister. I understood.
Sister, yes. He folds his arms behind his back and begins to slowly circle. Moving to the side. Sister, yes. Entertaining. He'll look over and smile slowly. What did you find entertaining about them? I'm sure Mina told you everything about how entertaining she finds the little things.
She has not gone into any detail. Except she was mentioning a cold breeze.
It stares over at Mina. It probably does that exact motion in the GIF as well. Was she now?
Just commenting on the change in the weather, dear brother, and the interesting things it brings with it.
And smile and look back over. The weather does seem quite different late, but who can say? He'll smile even more. His smile seems to widen as he's slowly circling the both of them.
And Mina's still... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, Mina's still just very animated, even with Garnet circling. So you haven't seen... Oh, go ahead. No, do it.
Okay, where Irene... all I wanted to say, where Irene is just kind of standing very still, very poised, very straight.
Fuck it. He'll lean forward, right up close, and study her. Like his eyes sort of have this green glaze to him as he looks up and down. You're not from around here, are you? Originally.
I hail from Greece, my lord.
I see. That Mediterranean vibe. I can smell it off your hair.
And are you from around here, my lord?
He'll smile. He'll look over at Mina. Well, who can say where we're really from originally? We always wander. One always finds a way to end up in different places. Home is where you choose it to be. Just depends on your yeah, I can't say the word, the perspective of it.
Irene will nod slowly and then says in Spanish, "Your sister says she hails from France."
Twists his head.
Mina looks so amused. She brightens up, looking over.
He'll look over. You thought of your native language. Or she speaks it. Interesting. Very interesting. He'll look right into Mina's eyes.
She'll pull up Alonzo, stroke his head. He's still a little unnerved, but no more with Garnet there than he was before. We were training.
Just smile. You look over at Irene again. A fledgling, you say?
Yes, my lord.
And how do you find being what you are then? From what you've seen.
Being what I am. Are you referring to me being a fledgling, me being an Asombra, or me being a Cainite, my lord?
Whichever you think I mean.
So far, I has viewed this life as an opportunity and a blessing, although it brings certain challenges with it.
Challenges. Well, there were always challenges before. Just add a few hundred years into the equation. Everything just seems so much more simple.
If you say so, my lord.
I mean, depends on what you want, really. I could tell you one thing, your sire could tell you another, Mina could tell you 5 different things, and the men on the street could tell you 20 different things about how you want to be. All depends on which thing you take from it.
Yes, my lord.
He'll smile big and wide. Such a good little bird. You know how to say the right things. It's a very good tactic, I hear. He'll smirk just a tiny bit.
I try to, my lord.
Of course. Sing the right song, and he'll look over up at the sky, actually. And everyone will tell you what a good tune it was. But stray a note left and right, and the little bird will fly away from her cage and never come back.
She kind of glances down for a moment. I think all of us will sing 1 or 2 false notes during the time that we have given.
Still looking up at the sky. Depends on the note, depends on the string, the chord, the person. Depends on what you determine as false for another person's mistake. It's another person's victory. I'm sure you know this already. But then again, What is success and failure in this life? To others, it is power. To some, you look over at Mina, it is a thrill. And for others, it's simply the markage of time.
And a right song for one might be a wrong song for another.
Well, there you go. You seem to already have an understanding of it.
A little. I have not been around here for that long, but Canine society is interesting.
Oh, you still have not realized a few things that most of you don't. The song's always been playing long before you were one of us. In fact, you've heard it your whole life.
Are you saying that there is but one song?
If that's what you think it means, who am I to tell you?
I see. And she nods slowly.
Smile. You don't like playing the game where you have to figure out your own answer to a multitude of questions. I see. I take it.
I'm not fond of a game where when I ask for clarification, I get more questions. This is true, my lord. I prefer not to step on anyone's toes.
Well, welcome to being a canine, my dear. Welcome to being one of us, where you open the door and there's another hallway leading to another door, another lane, another street. Welcome to a mirror, shattered and broken, but yet all the way whole. You never expect to have the right answer. Just expect to have the right question. Just a word of advice. If you ever want to survive.
I will think on your words, my lord.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll sing a fine tale to your sire about my words, whoever they are.
I beg your pardon. My sire is Prince Ulrich of Timuran.
My. You look over at Mina with this another curve of a smile. Such prestigious company we are in.
It is my sire who is prestigious, not I.
But you carry his legacy, his ilk.
I try not to disappoint him.
Suspect you don't. That's the thing about legacies. They always want one thing. But I'm sure you know that already. He'll smile warmly, suddenly going out of this kind of zoned out type of stare, and then suddenly beaming and smiling.
I know that I will not. Well, I hope to not disappoint him. That's all I can say on this.
Such a good little bird. Polite, beautiful, and very chirpy. Your sire has trained you well. He'll smile. He's plucked the right strings. So far, anyway.
Thank you, my lord.
Look over at Mina. And what do you make of her, sister?
And she's been watching on with some measure of amusement, albeit still trying to calm the dog, and has finally gotten him to stop flailing around and making a little his little whines, his little sounds of protest. And she'll reorient her gaze from one to the other. I haven't had much time to get a proper look, brother. But she does seem fun.
Shrug. You look over at Irene. We don't frighten you, do we? Us. Seers.
So mean. Their manipulation subterfuge.
Yes!
She will shake her head and says, "No, my lord. It's 3 successes."
3.
Being so close. And oh, does she smile?
Kind of stare at her, calmly. And then look over at his sister and see her smile, grinning broadly.
That little glint is back. So happy. Look at her.
Good. Fear is an interesting emotion, you see, little bird. You can obsess over it, fantasize about it, cry, scream, rage, never truly understand it. Takes a lot not to have fear over something. He'll smile at her warmly, pleasantly.
She will keep a straight face. Fear is also something that will protect us when we need it to, my lord.
Oh, to use fear as a protection. Well, that is a feeling I've not felt in a long time.
Does nothing ever frighten you, my lord?
He'll look over and twist his head and get right, like fucking danger close.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, no, she's gonna make a courage roll. Don't worry. The situation is tense enough for her to feel very uncomfortable, but she bosses it. So she stays right where she is.
Garnet's about 6'4", and he's like a twig. So I mean, his mantis-like movement goes right in her eyes, and so he bends down, and they lock eyes. And that green glint seems to shine even more. I'm always afraid. In fact, fear is something when you open your mind and your very soul to. It's almost like nothing makes you want to run. You're almost enraptured by it, understanding it. In fact, little bird, he moves right over, passes by her lips, and goes in right by her ear and whispers in, "You almost feel alive again. But I can tell by your breathing, you haven't quite reached that stage yet, have you?" Then he'll move back and stare at her, locking eyes with her again.
I am still young, my lord. And I realize that.
So why are you afraid of me?
Why are you curious about that?
Because most respond with aggression. Most respond with condemning. Condemning.
Condemnation?
Yeah, condemnation. Thank you. My English today. Um,
I know that feeling.
or others respond with feigned admiration, but very few openly sit there shaking like a willow in the wind. Because part of you is afraid. And the other part of you, she'll reach out slowly and stop just before he touches her face with his hands, and almost like he's closing his fist. He's curious about something.
I am afraid you are wrong, my lord. Yes, another manipulation subterfuge, blah, 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 blah. Only one success. Yeah.
Oh, I see that. That's when you say, "I'm afraid you're wrong, my lord," and that's when the smile goes even more devilish. The eyes seem to glow nearly as he smiles at you. The hair seems to just fall perfectly right in his face, so you can only see those eyes. I really hope I was, but I guess not. Seems I've rattled the little bird's cage. Quiver in your lip, shaking of your hand. In fact, if I reach out, as he's saying as he's actually reaching out and stopping just before he touches, she might snap. I did not mean to frighten the little bird so.
Then, my lord, what is your intention?
My intention? Whatever my intention be, but to guide a fledgling in the proper education of our society. To understand one's knowledge and to educate about something. Are you insinuating that I would be doing something harmful? Let's put his hand on his chest.
No, my lord.
We look over his sister. Is she?
Oh, I don't know, dear brother. That would be rude. She doesn't seem very rude.
No, she doesn't. He'll turn. One such high, pristine, clean. Don't think would ever be so rude to low clan like ourselves. He'll say that with this wicked grin.
My lord, I can assure you that at any point in this conversation, I have not meant any kind of offense to you or your clan or your family.
You see, dear sister, rattled the cage. He'll move back and put his hands behind his back and stand there, smiling. Well, I can see you are nervous and startled. Defensive, even, I would say. But then again, he'll look at her with this twinkle. He'll put his arm around his sister. We Malkavians do frighten.
Oh, she's practically aglow. She's so happy. Especially as the arm sits around her.
It would not be I who would ever call you frightening, my lord.
Oh. Then what would you call us?
I have not had enough interaction with Alcavians to form an opinion about the clan in its total.
Without the little bird directive, Irene Aguirre. Tell me what you think. Let's see what Irene thinks and not what the cage thinks.
Mina looks decidedly hopeful.
Irene is thinking. And is taking her time with that as well. I find that Clan Malkavian has a knack for seeing what others do not see. The unseen, in a way, I am apprehensive of. Therefore, I would be apprehensive of the abilities that your clan possesses.
The shadow is afraid of things it can't see. Now that is something fascinating. He circles again. The massing darkness is afraid of that. He'll seem to muse.
I am not afraid of the dark, my lord.
Oh, not the dark, no. Not at all. You're afraid. Oh. And he'll smile warmly, evilly. He'll look over. Well, Irene Aguirre, you have my curiosity. Now, you have my attention. Why are you afraid of things you can't see? Things you don't want to see?
Because it's those things that can truly break one's mind.
Are you afraid of madness?
Not madness in general, my lord.
You're afraid of it creeping in slowly, and day by day you wonder as you look around. Wonder, is this what I'm really seeing? Or is this actually what's about to happen? Or is it something I saw from before? And then you wonder yourself, was it all a dream?
She does not say anything to that. Which, to be fair, is an answer in itself.
Yep. He'll look over at Mina, smiling.
Oh, she's fascinated. She's actually at this point. I mean, the smile's still there, but she's kind of watching the interaction almost in a studying way. Actually, and for what little reassurance it is, more so watching Garnet. than like studying Irene. Like it's not that impersonal.
My. So he puts his hands up and seems to trace them along the top of, not on Irene's head, but the top above her head. She's a good bit taller than her. The cage has been opened. And silence is all that remains. And silence, my dear Irene. Well, sometimes that's more telling than even the best lies.
I will take your word for it, my lord.
Oh. He'll look up again at the sky and turn not at Mina, to the side of him. I wonder what the Father would make of you. I can already see his judgment waiting. Depends on what Mother says. He'd smile.
She looks a bit confused at that. Um,
Do you dream?
no, my lord.
Oh, she looks almost pitying.
Yes,
Mina?
yes. God, that's a 5 successes subterfuge.
See.
Let's see
Yeah.
if we can catch that. I'm gonna assume that's not a look one, so
Close.
very close.
Garnet will then frown. Right. He'll tap his fingers together. But if you don't dream, then that's not. And he'll lean forward then. A crone's eyes seem to be staring at you. For in dreams, in dreams we cast our realities before us and hope they become either the best hopes or the most terrible of nightmares. But it seems you have a far different prospect ahead of you, my dear Reed. One that, sadly, well, you look over at Mina with a more evil smile. Sadly, most neonates are going to see for the rest of their lives.
I am afraid I do not understand, my lord.
Well, for what it's worth, I'll let you P&E Mina.
Sure, I'll take that.
I will invite you to do the thing.
There's only one success there.
It's only one, but she's not. This isn't something she's consciously hiding per se. It's just subtle. Particularly with mention of the crone, she grows. She goes from, she's been happy, she's been studying, but that's about where she shows an edge of being unnerved. Just a tiny shift. It's not it's nothing very blatant. It's nothing very showy. It's just well, he's got her attention now. This is more astute listening, as if there's something very serious being imparted by mention.
The crone always watches, waiting, and unfortunately gaze. What you see is she steals dreams. So if you do not dream, suck in a breath, then you'll already hear the ravens waiting.
I am afraid, my lord, you speak in riddles that I do not understand.
No, I don't think you will until it's far too late. He'll smile at her, almost sadly, and look up at the sky until it's far too late.
She'll glance up as well, but if she does not see anything, she'll lower her gaze again and look at the two Malkavians.
There's definitely a touch more reservation on Mina at this point. She's not like boiling over with enthusiasm the way she was before. In fact, she will probably start to be more and more so allowing herself to be distracted by the dog that she's holding.
My lord, I am afraid I've taken up enough of your time. If you would excuse me.
Of course. The bird has to go back to the nest and get fed.
And she won't reply to that, but she'll curtsy. Yeah, she'll hold up her skirt a little bit to make sure it won't spread on the ground.
Irene, say to her, smiling.
Yes, my lord.
It is common in where I'm from that we have been packed with 2 kisses on the cheeks. Permit me.
And she'll get up from her curtsy. Will definitely look uneasy at that, but she will comply.
What's your perception plus your self-control?
Perception is 3. Self-control is, I think that's my lowest. Yeah, it's also 3, so 6.
1, 2, 3. He kisses both your cheeks and looks you right in the eye as Dementation 2 activates. Have a pet. I hope you can manage to dream. You give a very soft, almost angelic, like showing off that appearance for beauty, and smile.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no, you did not.
It's only a week. It's only a week. I got three. It's only a week. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Just a very harrowing week. It'll be fine.
I mean, the worst thing is, no, never mind.
And he'll just but he'll have this really, really sweet, actually quite caring smile. And actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm playing this character. I will roll appearance subterfuge. I get 2 successes. Because that smile is fucking dazzling.
Only 2?
3. 3 successes.
You know what? 2
9,
can play that game. I hope, or not. She also has 2 successes, so she'll give him. She's somewhat unnerved by his words, so her smile is not as radiant as his, but she will give an almost equally beautiful smile back, and will give a nod. Will actually also give a smaller curtsy to Yasmina, who so far has not shown any signs of wanting to kiss her. And
Mina will politely bob her head back and actually will wait until she's in the midst of departing the alley to shoot a comment after her. If she gets that far, yes.
Yes, she will turn around and leave.
And as she does, as she's exiting the alley, she'll be called after with there are better things to be afraid of, Irene. Watch out for the horned man. Little wave.
She'll look around and will nod again. And yeah, we'll leave the alley.
And will turn to his sister as she comes back, give a big smile. I believe that was fortuitous, sister. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome, brother mine.
Shall we leave?
She'll give a light little, very compliant, very pleasant little nod.
You just stride off quite arrogantly, as per usual.
And she'll come along behind, finally able to set Alonzo back down on his own feet.
And with that, I think we can end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we'll see you again on Edessa the Dark Crusade.